Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bold Explorer, and I'm on another walk on lockdown Britain on my quest for England. And I've come over to Shoreham today. I was going to go into the town of Shoreham. I've been in there before, but crossing Shoreham Bridge over the River Adur, I noticed just how much the tide is out, and I thought it would be interesting to go and have a look. I'm just going to walk down the slipway here past all these boats. Because the tide is right out and the river is tidal, it means that one can get right down to the very shingled part that's usually underwater when the tide comes in, and we can have a look at some of the boats, which I thought would be quite interesting. It's quite a wide estuary, really. You've got the Adur wreck here, and then on the far side you've got all the new flats that they've been putting up. I don't know how boggy it's going to be. I didn't put the best of shoes on for this because I didn't know it's going to do it. But looking under the bridge this way, you can see right into Shoreham and beyond. It's quite a windy day today, but we can go and have a quick gander at some of the boats that are just lying here, which is quite unusual. These are this is Lucky Lady, Taylor's 54 it says, and some others on the other side to swing across here. They do look rather forlorn when they're just lying on the hard shingle here with a few of the boys on the floor. Somebody somewhere is doing some maintenance, and I guess that's the time to get down to your boats to do that sort of thing. And actually, when you see how they're anchored on, I've often wondered how they've kept them actually anchored on to the thing. And there's a massive great chain here. Look at that. Massive great chain that holds them in. I don't know how far down that goes, but I assume that must go down to some sort of concrete footing or something. Let's just carry on and wander around a few more of them. Never ever done this before here at Shoreham, so it's quite fun. Another one here, Sheila and Saul, it says. I guess some of these are fishing boats and some presumably just pleasure boats. If you've got the money, why not? Let's just see where else this takes us. Here's Betsy, for example. Some lovely boats here. And actually, if we carry on this way, we'll get to the actual river or the inlet, if we don't frighten too many of the seagulls away. I'll come down here and see. It's quite a powerful river. Now, the only thing I have done down here before is taken a couple of kayak lessons. I can't get down to the other side, of course, because of the river, and it winds its way up there right past the old toll bridge, which is right up in the distance, and then beyond. This is the last of the boats here in its own little pool of water. Little sailing boat. This is very lovely. I wonder how many people buy their boats and moor them up here but don't actually go out on them very frequently. That would be interesting. You can hear, well, I don't know if you can hear, but I can hear the wind in some of the masts whistling quite loudly. Heading back now, you can see the great big bridge going across the road bridge. just come underneath the bridge. It's quite windy, so apologies if you're hearing it on the microphone, although I do have a special little gadget that I use, namely a tea strainer, which I hide the microphone in. I've got a mad dog coming up to attack me now. Hello. Hello, mad dog. There's some people down there. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. It looks like they're sort of fishing with a rope, or maybe they've got a magnet or something, one of these magnets that you throw in. I just thought, I'm walking, this is just amazing. I'm walking on this beach with all these strange incrustations down on the stones. Fascinating to look at these. I think there's a snail on that one. Little snail and various funny incrustations on here. When the tide comes in, it comes in and it fills this whole span. There's these, I forget what these are, these little shells of shellfish. I don't eat shellfish myself. This is amazing to be able to just come down and walk on this. Never done this before. You could probably go certain distance, but some of the sand, if you get on the sand, it is actually quite boggy. In the distance there you can see the new walkway bridge, which is quite fun to walk across with the glass. And behind me, I think what's called Rope Walk on that side, and then the main high street is actually behind these buildings over there, and you can have I think they're flats, but just a bit further round there are some pubs and you can sit out. Not that you can at the moment because of the social distancing thing, but I just saw some more interesting shells down here. Some little, these sort of different type of shells. They look quite cute, a bit like the Muppets really. And just over here, just make my way to it without sinking too much in the mud, is a great lump of rope, which presumably used to have something attached to it that is no more. Come down to the water's edge here and look back upriver that way to both bridges. And it falls away quite dramatically. I don't want to fall in, but that's actually quite remarkable really, to be able to walk out on this shingle. I imagine that various things must get washed up on the ground, and that if you've got the right frame of mind and patience and know what you're looking for, you could probably find all sorts of stuff. If you came out here perhaps with a metal detector, who knows what curious things you would find. There's something here, some sort of post thing, don't know what that is, but I think you'd have to be just a bit careful about how quickly the tide would come in, because the banks very, very muddy, and getting out of them would be quite tricky. I'm probably not going to wander too much further, but absolutely fascinating to just come out and take this little wander and see a little bit of Shoreham in a way that you wouldn't ordinarily see. So there you go, and a whole load of seagulls coming past. How much of that you can see, I don't know. Well, this has been a bit different. Always try to bring you something a little bit unusual and different as and when the opportunity arises. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe and all that. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. It's a bit unusual. And why not become a patron, support what I do, a little bit of price of a cup of coffee, every month, always helpful, puts petrol in the car, gets me out and about, and keeps the videos coming along. Anyway, from jolly old Shoreham and the River Adur, I better get back before the tide comes in and swallows me up. Till next time, bye bye for now. Bye bye, bye bye.